Mike brings a lot of. He's a hard worker, and he's grown so much. I mean, you guys don't understand the amount of growth he's had, and you can ask Coach Mick about that particularly. Um, to watch him, we ran a play and watch him. I think it was an 18-yard play, and he ran somebody over. And I mean, that excites us. That excites us. I was like, yeah, Mike. He's just barreling over people. I think there's a great combination between him, and Curtis Samuel, and what they're doing in the backfield. And I think it's going to be able to let Mike grow at a good rate, and we're going to see it on the field.
Hey, Billy, you were talking about keys against Tulsa, weren't you, earlier?
We were just scouting them, and I heard that they beat San Jose State pretty nicely.
That's what I'm curious about. Since you did score 77, but Urban said that you guys could have done some things better. How much time did you spend on that film relative to how much you would have expected to spend?
Well, I mean, again, a lot of it was fundamental errors. So there was things on my behalf, the offensive line's behalf. Just footwork stuff and things. Hey, we need to make sure if we see this again, we correct it before it becomes an everlasting problem. And that's you have to watch it. You have to see what you messed up on and where you graded, what you did well on, where the good blocks were, and where we need to improve on. So that's what we did a lot with the Bowling Green film.
But did you move on pretty quickly from it?
Today we started watching. That's kind of the process. Sundays are usually watch game tape, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday start getting into the next opponent, and that's what we're looking forward to.
What kind of life have you bought into here, where y'all go for 776 yards, and yet there's all these things you can improve on? Billy, I mean, is it a never-ending search for what? Perfection or what?
Yeah, we're always chasing perfection. I think that happens in all facets of life. You can't just limit that just to football itself.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about being a business student. We talk about a process. You always want to improve a process, and with that, anytime there's slack or waste, as we call it in the business world, you just got to improve on. So the waste, I had a bad step, so I need to improve that step to continue to improve the process, and then in the grand scheme of things, improve the offense.
JT talked about how he has kind of like got you guys in better protection a few times. It was pretty evident on Saturday how that worked, especially with the first touchdown to KJ. Is that different from him as opposed to what he did last year, or is it just kind of like him more mastering things?
Yeah, this is Coach Meyer made a reference. This is his car, and he was like, oh, slow down. Hey, let's do this. Boom, and we just changed one thing. And I think he and I reference our freshman year a lot, and our heads just going, oh my God, there's so much going on right now. It's so fast, and him being able to, hey, let's check this, let's do this, and then you see a touchdown, and that's just it's part of the maturation process, and he's the the driver to the offense. So,
Billy, how well do you know your kicker?
Tyler Durbin.
What do you want to know?
You know more than your head coach does already.
What do you want to know?
More than Urban does.
What do you want to know?
Are you surprised by the way he played? I mean, you guys never played football until now.
Hey, Durbin's the man. He's the man. I mean, whatever you want to know. He's married. He's a great guy.
How have you gone about getting to know him? Because it's like he just started practicing this year. Like, how have you gone about getting to know him?
Well, kind of specialists they are unique individuals. Very, very unique individuals. I mean, and Cam Johnson, I came in with Cam being our part of my recruiting class, and you learn things very quickly with those guys. They got a little bit more extra time, so Aaron Maher, our backup short snapper and long snapper, he's very, very funny. You'll have to, whenever you get a chance to interview him, he's a funny guy. But yeah, Tyler Durbin, no, he was came in because I know he was the backup to Sean. And then Sean got hurt, and you start to learn more about him. And then all of a sudden, he runs down on kickoff and smacks some kid. So I told him he's going to have to get after that Penn State kicker since he smacked that guy from Kent State. I was like, man, don't do my boys from Kent State like that now. Come on now. Representing Northeast Ohio. So. Yeah, I was like 260. He came down and hit him like we hit a linebacker. Like, boy.
Did I see Curtis pick up Pat in a touchdown celebration? Is that a new thing?
So yeah, that's our new thing. So you know how we raise the small guys? The small guys raising the fat guys. So we're working on it. I told Dontre, because I had Dontre in a picture, and I said, Dontre, you're gonna have to start bench pressing more, dude, because I'm 315, and boy, you're gonna have to start pressing me, because there ain't no way. So yeah, no, it's a good time. Always do. We say we do it for the gram, do it for Instagram. You get the good pictures. So.
Whose idea was that?
Well, we always do, because Burn being a photographer, like, Burn, did you catch that picture? And you got Dontre hand up there, so it's always a good time.
Billy, what's Jamarco's personality like?
Goofy. He's a goofy kid. He's been able to really develop, and he was under Taylor Decker and been able to craft and mold himself to that. Outside of football, he's a good guy. He's somebody I would trust driving my car, and I don't take that lightly. so you can't wreck my car.
Is that like the highest praise
The Bill
you have for
Mobile?
someone?
Yeah, there's a few people. My mom, the significant woman in my life, and Jamarco. Yeah, just messing around.
On the field, what makes him a good left tackle? If he
He's
has
very
one.
assertive, and he's been able to really take a hold of that responsibility playing left tackle. I mean, left tackle here. I mean, if you look down at that picture over there, you got Jack Meahort, Taylor, and all those guys in there. Something that we don't take lightly, and that's the backup quarterback besides Pat. You know, is to make sure we're in the right protection, in the right play. And he's been able to really take a hold of that and been confident in his abilities.
Billy, I think that every receiver on the roster is in the 2 deep. But KJ Hill got left off, and it was an accident.
A little chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, no, but it was just an accident. But he scores the first touchdown of your guys' season. And I think I remember, like, you know, that you guys send out those hype videos of, like, what's going on in fall camp when we can't watch, that he caught one, like, the first day. Is he, like, crazy athletic good in practice? Like, what do you see from him despite the depth chart oversight?
I mean, he's a freaky athlete. I mean, all the receivers that are in the 2 deep are freaky athletes, and that's just something he's been able to. In that room, there's a lot of competitive, you know, between the guys, the ones, the twos, and who's the first three, and there's a lot of competition in there. So you can't take a day off, and I think that's what the receiver room has really been able to emulate, and that's where you saw a lot of the balls and a lot of playmakers get the ball and the opportunity to play.